Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Branding Banter, your promotional products podcast, where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA.
I'm Meg Erber, also known as Mimi.
She's a Grammy now, guys.
I love it.
Grandma.
Oh,
Don't say the G word.
Mimi. I like Mimi.
Yeah.
You need a
love it.
G-Wagon.
G-Wagon, I do.
Yeah. All right. We've got one other co-host.
And Sarah Goshgarian-Unruh. Yeah, Sarah Goshgarian-Unruh from Stalls.
You look tanner and, beach hairy and,
like all the things. I know. I'm in Cabo. Yep, Cabo San Lucas. So for our anniversary. So our anniversary is on Valentine's Day. So super cliche. It was a day, to be honest, that I hated my entire life. And then I got engaged on Valentine's Day, and then we got married on Valentine's Day. And so at least then there is a significance behind it just being a commercialized holiday.
So Valentine's Day, huh? When's your daughter born?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I have a Valentine's Day baby too.
Yeah. Amazing how it
happy
works.
anniversary. And
thank you so much, and congratulations to you, Mimi. That's so exciting.
Thank
Baby,
you. I'm out in California.
Yes, congratulations, Meg.
Thank you.
And happy anniversary then, Sarah, to you as well.
Yep.
Didn't know that. So that's kind of awesome. Thank you for taking time away from Mexico. Oh, there's the grandbaby already. That is awesome.
What's his name?
Emerson Daniel.
Oh, it's such a cute name.
Yeah, he's a little cute. He's Mimi's little Emmy. We call him little baby Emmy.
Very cool. All right, well, we got a fun episode for you guys today. We're going to talk Super Bowl. The day that this episode is airing is on Valentine's Day. So Super Bowl is just passed. We get to approach this episode a little bit differently this year, which is kind of cool. It's got me a little bit excited about it. Typically, we would cover this prior to Super Bowl because, typically Steven has been there in the past, or even Meg has been there in the past, kind of covering Media Row. So this year we're covering it post Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about merchandise. We're going to talk about commercials, everything else that we saw. It's definitely a huge media fanfare, and it's something that we cover every year. So I guess, do you guys want to start just with any major things that stood out to you?
Well, I will say, we can start with a little facts.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go. You go.
No, you go.
We always talk about data, and I think that's important. Why don't we start with that? So if you have some, Sarah, let's talk. I did not actually look that up today. I'm really a little sleep deprived.
So a 30-second ad. So a 30-second ad was $8 million is what the cost of it was this year.
You see, they covered it during the game. They actually said what it was. I don't remember the year, maybe 20 years ago or something like that. But it used to be $40,000. Now it's $8 million.
Wow.
Maybe my numbers
I remember. I remember I used to do. So whenever I taught marketing and business, one of the assignments I always did was about the Super Bowl, and so the kids always had to research of how expensive the commercials were. So I remember teaching of like a 30-second commercial being like $1.2 million. Like,
I remember
and that wasn't that long ago. And so, and then it increased to like $2 million, and then it was like $2.4 million, but $8 million. I will say though that it was 127.7 million viewers. And so if you really think about it, I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk I saw do like a blip on it. He's like, if someone were to give me $8 million, I can't get them that many viewers.
Wow.
From a social media standpoint of like, because people are dialed in, they don't fast forward through the commercials, right? Like, and so it's super different from any other time. And when we watch TV, like people are actually tuned in during those 30 seconds to watch those ads.
Yeah, I took a picture of that thing that I tried to get it, but I actually took a horrible picture of it. So it was only half a picture, but the average ticket price was $5,658. Cost of a 30-second commercial was $8 million, and the global audience was 195 countries. And if you can see, I literally got like half the picture because I think I was holding a baby and like trying to like.
Well, one of the things that stood out to me was the Dun King came back.
Yeah.
They skipped Matt Damon this year. I guess they didn't have the money for Matt Damon, and that was the whole premise behind the commercial.
Yes.
Uh,
It was
so
fun.
that
was highly rated. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. So what else? I will say one of my favorite commercials, and definitely my kid's favorite commercial, was the Lilo and Stitch commercial. Did you guys see that? Where it was AI, where Stitch was running around the field, and like a fan had broke loose on the field. So he's running around the field, and they're trying to catch it and corner him or whatever. And then he drives off. Somehow they trap him under a trash can, and he digs a hole and goes on one of the carts and drives into the field goal post, flies off, and then grabs the microphone that's next beside it, and just goes crazy. So it was cute. I thought it was fun. It was a nice little AR augmented reality looking thing, but very cool.
That is cool. So there was a couple that I thought were funny, and I wrote them down. And then there was one that really stood out, even though I don't think it was I'll get to it in a second. So the WeatherTech, first off, I had never heard of WeatherTech before this, but there was a WeatherTech commercial that had some old ladies with bingo. It was hilarious. And then I was like, oh, this is a CarMax commercial. I don't even remember the premise of it, but I did write it down. I thought it was hilarious. Matthew McConaughey, I thought he was phenomenal. He was in a couple of different commercials. I know that there was the Uber Eats one was the one that stood out, and that was where I saw some promotional products, and it was like a non-woven grocery tote with Uber Eats, and I kept seeing it everywhere. So I really liked that one. And I don't even remember this anymore, but it was a rocket.com, West Virginia, after the Birds scored a field goal. So it was probably like right in the beginning, and I don't remember what that was. But at the very end, there was a commercial for this app, right? And it was like, we're having a contest. Scan the QR code, and we're giving away $10,000 to 120 people. And so I saw it at the end. I don't know if it came up earlier, but I scanned it, and it was just crashing, right? I couldn't get into it. And then I finally did get into it, even though I never input my code to get into it. But I was looking on Reddit, so I'm like, what's going on? And everyone was complaining about it. But they were giving away $10,000 to 120 people. And I don't know if it was real or not. They kept saying it was live, but it definitely looked pre-recorded and fake. But and then they were giving away another $1 million, but I got tired of waiting. But they were reading off names. Like every minute they were reading off 20 names. They're like, wait to the end. But it felt kind of fake. But I really wanted to win, so I stayed on for as long as possible.
I thought the Tick Pick commercial was pretty good too.
The Tick Pick. I don't know if I remember that. I feel like I do, but everything is blurred.
A couple old ladies talking about they were on the golf course or something. They were talking.
Yeah.
Look what he just sent me or something like that. And they were like, it's a Tick Pick.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Just shock and awe is what people look for. And there was a couple of really bad ones too, just lame. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. You guys have an opportunity to really shine here. And it's like,
you're spending $8 million and this is what you produced.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a lot of like celebrities too that you saw, like the recreation of When Harry Met Sally.
Okay.
So that was the Hellmans.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
Hellmans.
the Hellmans.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Because Meg Ryan was there with Billy Crystal, so they like recreated that scene. Yeah. So
it's funny. I was watching with my daughter, and I've been in that deli, and I didn't know if it was Cat's Deli, but it looked like Cat's Deli. So I said to her, I'm like, that's Cat's Deli. That's a famous deli. Like, I've been there. But I didn't know. I just saw that. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you got it. That is exactly, yeah. And then the Nike commercial. What do you think about the Nike?
I don't remember. Which one was it?
I don't remember the Nike commercial, but I heard there was some controversy behind it.
So this was the first time Nike ever did a commercial. It was all women. And so it was supposed to be, the message was supposed to be about like female empowerment, women in sports. And so they actually didn't highlight any men at all inside of their commercial. I just think the saying fell flat is what, and I think it was, they kind of like, they say that you can't, but you can kind of a deal. And it was just something, it was like, how we're always faced with as women, like, people are often telling us about what we can't do and everything and overcoming it. I just think the message just fell flat. But it was the first time ever that Nike had a women's only commercial.
Yeah, I did. I remember that now that you mentioned the "you can't do this, so do it" thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Like an ongoing.
Yeah, I must have
very cool.
was starting
All
to
right,
fall.
so what else do we want to cover about the Super Bowl? I mean, do we want to talk halftime show or the actual?
Yeah, let's talk about.
I'll be honest with you. I like zoned out after eight. I think it was like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was like this, and I should have turned it off before that, honestly, because that game was over before halftime. It was gross.
Yeah.
It was gross. I mean, you never want to count Patrick Mahomes out. You know, there was always an opportunity for him to come back, but then it just never happened. I mean, it took them almost three full quarters to even get points on the board, which was disgusting.
It was sad. It was like, wow, this is the Super Bowl. Did you see the lady with the voodoo doll?
Yes.
It went viral, and she was like stabbing a little voodoo doll of Patrick Mahomes.
Sketchy and
you're in
you're in Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. New Orleans,
but as
I actually went to an EME, I think once, that we made voodoo dolls. Like, it was part of like the experience of like that they had people there and you could make voodoo dolls. So
I mean, it wasn't all bad. I think I saw another
You're
video
looking
later
for an experience. There you go.
Yeah, talking about like what happens when you kind of stab them, and it's not necessarily you're causing them pain, but it could be like a reawakening. It could be a bunch of things, but it was just, doesn't always have to be, malice, I guess, but I guess this was. But so when you were making them, Sarah, necessarily, it didn't mean it was like all malice type stuff. Yeah, it has some really cool meanings behind it. But yeah, so Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl, the halftime show, let's talk about it really quickly. Apparently it was the most watched of all time. I will say the biggest takeaway for me was that little boy is like 5 foot, but those bell bottoms he was rocking were awesome. It definitely made me choices.
I haven't. It's been like several years since there's been a good halftime show, but this was
last year.
I didn't really care for Usher. It wasn't that good.
I loved it.
It wasn't that good. It was way better than Kendrick Lamar, though. I'll give you that. I thought that was the worst halftime show I've ever seen, ever.
Well, I don't listen to his music. That was it. I just didn't. But I liked if there was like Easter eggs. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Like there was just. Go ahead.
It's not even a slam on like hip hop or rap. I mean, there's really good artists in that genre, and you'll hear the name Kendrick Lamar all the time. So I expected to hear some songs that I've heard before. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah. What's the eyebrow raising there, Meg? You're a Grammy. You know what I mean? A Mimi. Like,
Mimi.
Whatever.
Yeah, I should know, but I don't know Kendrick Lamar's music, but I kind of like that. I like the patrioticness. I don't know. I thought it was good.
There was messaging in it, right? Like, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. And so like there was a lot of messaging in it, but I agree. If you didn't understand or know Kendrick Lamar or go back and watch it, you just watched it the first time, you missed so much from a messaging standpoint that was there. And that maybe not the right platform, right? To me, it's like an entertainment. Like, you love, because you want to, like, I didn't get up and dance. Normally during the halftime like performance, like, I'm up and I'm dancing and I'm loving the music and it's awesome. Like, I just sat there and watched. So I know his music because I have teenagers. So, but other than that, I do think it fell flat. I do kind of agree, but I like the messaging, but post, like, having to watch it again and again and again to find all of them. So
I don't know. I consider myself pretty eclectic. You know what I mean? I can dig a lot of different types of music.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. No, and it's not, like I said, it's not even a slam on the genre. I'm just really surprised that what we were presented, and this is a whole nother topic, but honestly, what we were presented was like, I'm surprised that this is like something that anybody listens to, let alone pays money for, and this guy's in the Super Bowl. It's insane to me. But,
they pay to be there. They don't get paid. They pay.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they don't get paid.
Yep.
No, they do not get paid for the Super Bowl performance, then I'm wondering what the process is, right? Of like, how many artists are like, I want to perform the Super Bowl, of knowing like it's a huge cost for them to take on.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have some some statistics. A lot of this is like follow-up from 2024, but has some 2025 stuff in here as well. If you want me to talk about it really quickly. So Super Bowl revenue statistics for 2025. So advertisers spent a record $7 million. This is last year on a 30-second commercial during 2024. This year was $8 million. So last year, the in-game ads generated $650 million in revenue during 2024. And consumers who watched the game spent an estimated of $86.04 each on the Super Bowl in 2024. So the advertising inventory for 2025 Super Bowl had sold out 3 months in advance.
They spend $7 million on a commercial and then get 600 and some back as a return on that investment, is what you're saying.
Well, not one person gets it. I think that was overall.
Oh, that's overall?
Not one person, one company. Yeah, I think that was $650 million. Like,
terrible ROI.
Like, spend $7 million and get $650 million. I think it was.
Well, think about how many commercials. But think about how many commercials there are. It's only a 30-second commercial. So think about all the commercials there are, and every one of them spent $7 million. That's a terrible ROI then, because that doesn't even cover the cost, right? Or am I just like way off?
I know. I don't. Yeah, I feel like maybe we're not mathing the right way.
Yeah, I'm just reading what they say online, so
No. The other commercial. Sorry, I was thinking about commercials. The Pringles commercial with the how the mustache.
The mustache. It was pretty good.
I know.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
There was another one that had dude's eyebrows as well. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
I
can't remember which one that was.
I don't know.
It was like a pizza. Was it Little?
Yes, I think it was. Was it Little Caesars? It might have been Little Caesars. But yeah, anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, what else? Meg, you got some other stats?
I'm trying to look up some stuff, but it's hard for them to calculate them, I think, so quickly, because everything I'm finding when I pull up 2025, it's pulling up the 2024 and kind of comparing it, but not really giving any physical hard numbers, except the stuff that we already know.
How about merch, Meg? What did you see? Because I know we want to cover merch a little bit as well.
Yeah, merch was the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah, the difference
you mentioned Uber Eats. You mentioned Uber Eats. You saw the bag. I think Instacart also had a lot of the brands showcased as well. There was bags, I think, also from Instacart, red, right? Like that's their color.
I don't know. I think they were green. I don't know. That's Uber. Well, it says 50 different brands showcased their commercials during the Super Bowl.
It was DoorDash. I'm sorry, DoorDash.
DoorDash. Oh, red. Yeah, DoorDash is red.
Yes. Yep, DoorDash. And their bag was shown also a multitude of times throughout their commercial.
Yeah, and it's interesting people use the bag. I get it.
Yeah. Dunkings, they pulled out their jumpsuit again, but then they also, if you saw, I think he had like a sweatshirt or something else like that had patches all over it, like, which is super trending right now as well.
Yeah, that was really big last year when I was at the Super Bowl and I saw people they were buying these jackets that had patches all over them, and they were an arm and a leg. But I get it because we know what goes into that kind of stuff. So, but it was pretty incredible.
You said there were 50 commercials?
I think there were 59 commercial brands.
So doing the math real quick, that's almost a double up on average then. That's not that bad. I would have thought there was more commercials than that.
Well, like I said, it didn't necessarily, there was, it said 50 brands on one of them, and then it says 59 commercials scheduled. So yeah, 59 commercials, yeah.
Well, NFL does some of their own commercials.
It was the 59th year.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting.
But yeah.
How about since I tuned out, didn't see the end of the show. What merchandise were they wearing at the end of the celebration? Hat and shirt, anything special?
I couldn't tell you.
Just your standard like hat. Yeah, it wasn't nothing different, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, you're an Eagles fan and you didn't finish the game.
Listen, I'm in California. It was 3:00 in the afternoon. We're watching a football game. It was totally weird. spent 2 days not sleeping with a brand new one. Me and Kaylee were
It's 3
falling
hours
asleep.
earlier. The
I
game
will
ended
say,
at like 7 p.m. for you.
yeah, I know. And then we went back to the hospital after that. The one thing I will say I noticed early, they did I'm surprised nobody like Chiefs fans aren't up in arms in this. They were celebrating really early, which I mean, obviously they were winning, but almost I'm surprised that there wasn't backlash on that because there was like 2 minutes and 48 seconds left of the game, which is like an hour in real time, and they dumped the Kool-Aid over the coach's head. So I thought that was interesting. And then I think they even scored after that, didn't they? Or somebody scored.
Well, I mean, when there were like 30 uncontested points on the board at the end of the third quarter, I'm pretty sure I probably started celebrating as well.
I'm that kind of person. I like to celebrate and gloat, so didn't bother
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I lost that bet. I that prop bet for the color of the Gatorade. I lost that one.
What do you guys think about Taylor Swift getting booed?
I'm not surprised, actually.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either.
Yeah, I mean,
there were a lot of Eagles fans, I feel like, there.
And I think, if you're looking at it from an Eagles fan, right, as an Eagles fan's perspective and seeing that, I'm going to give you two perspectives, right? I would be like, I'm booing her because she's, the most influential person in the world, and she's here rooting for the Chiefs. Perspective number one. Perspective number two is Donald Trump was 2 suites down, and they just cheered for him, and then they booed for her because she, very loudly supported Kamala Harris. So there's two perspectives. She was booed, and you can hear her completely shocked, and she was like, "What is going on?" So I think, I think it was more towards the first one, but then I did see some Chiefs fans booing her too. So.
But everybody's got to have somebody to blame, right? Like, that's what I think. Because Kelsey had an awful game. Like, I mean, it was like he was still in bed. So, like, he didn't show up at all.
Talking awful game. Saquon Barkley honestly didn't do very much either to impress me in that game. I mean, the way that he's blown up all season long, he was not running very well against the Chiefs. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs to run well when you got voodoo dolls on your side?
That's true. That's true. All right. I think we've pretty much summed this one up. What do you think, Sarah? You got some last minute?
No, all good. The only thing I was going to say is Saquon. There was a message that he needed like 13 more yards in order to hit a record, and his offensive coordinator came to him and he was like, "Nope, let the other guys eat." So he didn't care about getting that record. He wanted to share it with the rest of his team. So I thought that was pretty cool. So
that was cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to miss the parade. It's going to be on Friday, but apparently they torched the city, so I'm glad I'm not missing it.
I know. That's the other thing I don't understand. But why, destroy your city? I don't get it.
I saw a video of a guy and a subway train or a train was going by, and there was an Eagles fan on top of the train.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Only in Philadelphia, folks. Only in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've had fun. It was an interesting topic. Always nice to talk about it, and definitely cool to look at it from a post perspective this time. So,
for sure.
All right, guys. Until next time, we'll be seeing you.